WDEV News presents the regular monthly meeting of the Fentress County Commission. The Fentress County Commission meets the third Monday of each month, and you can see it live on Channel 12 Cable TV. It's a presentation of the Union Bank of Jamestown and Clark Range, your reliable banking partner since 1904.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC.
We'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge to the flag given by Commissioner Mickey McDonald and remain standing for opening prayer by Commissioner Justin Miller.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for all your many blessings. Lord, we thank you for each and every one of our county members of our county that's gathered here tonight. Lord, we just pray, Lord, that you'd help us make the correct decisions that would be beneficial to our county. Lord, we want to always do the right thing. We want you to lead us and guide us in those decisions as well. Lord, we just pray, Lord, that everything will go according to plan tonight. Pray that you keep us safe as we go about our homes. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Has joined.
Ms. Amanda, will you call the roll, please?
Mickey. Here. Justin.
Here.
Rod.
Here.
Kim. Here. Benny.
Here.
Robert.
Here.
Lester.
Here.
Leon.
Here.
Larry.
Here.
Julie.
Here.
All present.
All present. At this time, we will jump ahead
Has left.
just a little bit, and we'll have the presentation of some proclamations honoring the 2021 girls and boys basketball season of Alvin C. York and Clark Range Buffaloes. I'll read these here, and then we'll present them out front. We'll call one up at a time if you don't care. Proclamation. In the Board of Commission, Fentress County, Tennessee, a proclamation honoring the 2020-2021 season of Clark Range High School and Alvin C. York Institute. Whereas the Clark Range Buffaloes and Lady Buffaloes and Alvin C. York Dragons and Dragonettes had an outstanding 2020-2021 basketball season, and whereas the Clark Range Lady Buffaloes finished their season as Region 3A champions, the Lady Buffaloes were led by head coach Lamar Rogers and assistant coach Shane Mundy. And whereas Clark Range Buffaloes closed out their Region 6A season with tremendous talent and experience to build upon, the Buffaloes were led by head coach Shane Mundy and assistant coach Brian Gunner. And whereas the Alvin C. York Dragonettes finished their season as Region 4 AA runners-up, the Dragonettes were led by head coach Michael Green and assistant coach Haley Stockton. And whereas the Alvin C. York Dragons finished their season as Region 4 AA champions, the Dragons were led by head coach Roy Whitey and assistant coach Rodney Powell. And whereas the Clark Range Buffaloes and York Dragons, both past and present, are known for their toughness, leadership, great skills, and sportsmanship. And whereas the Fentress County Executive's Office and the Board of Commission would like to congratulate the Clark Range Buffaloes and York Dragons for their dedication to teamwork, school, and community. It inspires, perseverance, sparks competition, and motivates future teams to achieve greatness. Therefore, it be proclaimed this 19th day of April that Fentress County wishes to recognize and pay tribute to these student athletes and coaches that have dedicated themselves to succeeding through the sport of basketball in Fentress County. Approved by myself and attested by Marilyn Stevens, County Clerk. We'll call one team up at the front if you don't care, because I believe they want to get a picture probably. Which one? Start with the Park Range Lady Buffaloes, please.
That looks low, man. Wow.
Jamie Reagan has joined.
Hang on, girl. Let's go picture. Fourth volume. Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you, Becky. Hey, Becky.
Get out of Jimmy's way here.
Thank you. Hey.
Jimmy.
I did that the other day and it was cold.
Roll it. Been past the coon.
It's good truck. Right wheel number on it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, brother, hold it.
He put his, he covered it. Terry. He's the assistant. Scooch it over to the left. Start here, and I I was a freshman. I was right by it. You got it made now?
You do it. Item number 6. Consideration of approval of minutes from the commission's meeting, special called and regular session on 3/15/2021.
Make a motion to approve. I second that.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding to approve, seconded by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey? Or. Justin?
For it.
Rod?
For.
Kim? Four. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Julie?
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against, motion passes. Item number 7, consideration of approval of notaries. Have Kelsey Stevens, Kayla Donhauser, Lisa Lee Mallett, Lynn Stevens, Tanya French, and Connie Poore. I hear a motion on this.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Benny Hughes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion? All four, please say aye.
Aye.
Contrary likewise. Our next item we have is replacement of a 911 board member, Miss Pat Clark, and the appointment of Mr. Richard Smith to the position to fill the remaining term of Ms. Clark to expire in 2024.
Chairman, I move we approve.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey? Or. Justin?
For it.
Rod?
For it.
Kim? 4. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Julie?
4.
10-4, none against.
Motion passes 10-4, none against. Item number 9, consideration of approval of the appointment of Stephen D. Garrett to the Fentress County Beer Board to fill a vacancy due to the passing of long-term board member Mark Howard. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Very likewise. Motion passes. Item number 10, consideration of relieving the Fentress County Trustee's Office from the 2019 delinquent property taxes by Miss Angie Sweet, trustee. Property tax sale for 2018 delinquent taxes set for June the 11th, 2021 at 11:30 a.m. at the Justice Center located at 140 Justice Center Drive.
Actually, that should say 2017 and 2018 delinquent taxes. I don't know, is Angie online? Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion been made by Commissioner Lester Gooding.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Any more discussion?
Angie is online.
She is.
If she wants to say anything, I'm not sure.
Angie, do you have any comment to this?
No, not really. It's just there what's on paper unless anybody has a question.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey?
Four.
Justin?
For it.
Rod?
For it.
Kim? 4. Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
4.
Julie?
4.
10 for, none against.
Motion passes 10-4, none against. Item number 11. We have Miss Donna Barrett here with us tonight, and she is
Has left.
and she has came up with some revenue sources that she will explain each one of these to you tonight, and then after she explains one, you'll have the opportunity to vote to yes or no on what she's information that she's giving you. So, Miss Barrett.
Thank you, County Executive. And thank you all for having me back. Last time I was here, all the remodeling hadn't been done yet. This looks absolutely fabulous. And what I'm going to go over with you tonight is the presentation I made online at March's budget meeting. We got our wires crossed and I wasn't on the March full meeting, so some of you will have already heard this, but don't hesitate to ask questions. And if we need to, I do have a PowerPoint we can put up, but I think I should be able to verbally explain it well enough. As you all know, you contracted with the Barrett Group to do an ongoing revenue review analysis. And the goal of that was to look for missing revenue, slow-running revenue, or other opportunities for revenue that were out there that weren't made available to you or weren't known at the time. We completed a review of 10 tax streams thus far, revenue streams. 3 are completely implemented. 1 began on March 15th. And we've got 5 tonight that I'm going to present to you that need county commission approval to move forward on. I will tell you of the 3 we have implemented thus far, the results of that are $77,547.74 reoccurring annually, and an additional $137,898.17 that were a one-time collection that came in this budget year. When you take those out over the potential 20-year life expectancy of these taxes or these revenue streams that will remain, over a 20-year time period, that's $1,147,472.89 new revenue for the county. What I have for you tonight are 5 different resolutions. I'll explain what they all are, and then we can go back one by one with the resolutions when the mayor presents them. Executive presents them, sorry. The first one is called the Jail and Courthouse Litigation Fee. It's collected by both county and circuit court clerks. You currently have yours at $50. I am suggesting that you increase that to what is statutorily allowed, which is $10 additional, and those monies would be earmarked for the Justice Center debt. The conservative annual revenue expected off of that, additional revenue expected off that, is expected to be $12,000 annually. The second item I want to recommend is an archives and record management fee. All of your constitutional offices have a duty to archive certain records, most all records, for at least a period of time. So there is an in-house expense that's built into those offices already. You are allowed statutorily to implement an archive and management fee to offset some of those expenses. I am suggesting a $5 document filing fee. It's collected on every document filed in all the clerks of all the courts in Fentress County, except the Register of Deeds. So this is going to be all your legal filings. I recommend that would go to the general fund, and it is, my conservative estimate is $10,500 annually. I will tell you that is a very conservative estimate. One of the last counties we implemented that in, the estimate, the actual revenues that came in were 2.5 times what we estimated. So this is expected to be a very conservative estimate at $10,500 annually. The next resolution is called Accounts Payable Resolution. Your departments are required, after they hold a check for so long, let's say somebody doesn't pick up a jury duty check, after a certain period of time of that being outstanding in your records, that has to be submitted to the state for the state to attempt to collect it. The state is allowed to hold that for 1 year. During that time, they attempt to find the individual, but they also are earning interest on that money. After a year, you can ask for that back. It's still an obligation owed to whoever the check is made payable to or that individual's heirs. There is no timeline on when they can collect that. But this now allows you to take that money, put it in an interest-bearing account, which is required, and you now get to collect that interest on it. I'm recommending I'm recommending that resolution not only tonight, but that becomes something you do every 2 years. We have one county that I'm working with. They have been submitting money since 1985. We will know in June what their total amount was or is going to be. I had one county, they went back 7 years, and it was over $100,000 for them. Again, the money has to go to an interest-bearing account, and you receive the monies. The interest can then go to your general fund with no requirement on where it is to be allocated. So I recommend that one as well. The next one I'm going to recommend is a general sessions judge salary litigation increase. Currently, that is $6 per case. Since 1990, the compensation of the general sessions judges has risen significantly. 1990 was when this $6 was implemented. Yours has remained $6 ever since 1990. The state sets the required salary for those general sessions judges, but they gave no monies to you for that. So as a way to offset that, they now allow for an increase in this litigation tax. Currently, you currently fund that with the fee that's currently there at $6. I'm basing this on pre-COVID numbers, so you understand it's during an active, realistic year for your court system. You generate $21,721.08. The judge's current salary is $96,353, and it does not include the 5.87% retirement cost that the county incurs for the judge as well. So you, right now, in your county general fund, are expending $74,631 a year to make up for the judge's salary that's not being generated by the litigation tax that was set in to generate that revenue. We are proposing to increase it to $36, from $6 to $36. I think when we calculated it, it's a little shy of that number because you can come back and readjust it every 4 years, looking at it. You don't ever want to go over that. You have to stay at or below the salary generated, or you have to go in and decrease the fee. Yes, the additional new revenue generated by this is estimated to be $64,000. So that takes your shortfall from $74,000 to a little over $10,000 that you'd come out of your general fund instead of the current $74,000. And my last recommendation is, currently your hotel motel tax is at 5%. I recommend raising that to 7.5%. COVID restrictions are putting a lot more people in stay vacations. They're coming to your parks, they're doing Airbnbs, they're just staying home. They're not going outside the county. I was talking to Tyler earlier. You saw an increase in your sales tax revenue because people were no longer going to Knoxville to shop during the Christmas holidays. They were staying home and shopping. They were shopping online. The same thing's going to happen with vacation as well. You just have a great opportunity here, or a great area here for people to come visit with the staycations. I will tell you of the adjoining counties to Fentress, Cumberland County is at 7.5%, Putnam County is at 7%, Scott County is at 5%, Overton is at 5%, and Pickett and Morgan have none. We're estimating that increase to be $15,000, and I do think annually, all these are estimates for annually, and I do anticipate that to be a very conservative number as well. We've seen it be higher than that in the other counties we've made changes to. Of all those proposed revenues, understanding that the unclaimed accounts payable, I can't guesstimate until we get those numbers in June. That's a reoccurring amount of $101,500 annually to the general fund. And with that, I will hush and stand for questions. Yes, sir.
I have one question. On the one tax there on the unclaimed funds,
Yes, sir.
why is that a biannual resolution we have to pass?
You have to request it each time, and the state is allowed to. You hold it in your accounts for a year. After that point in time, you have to turn it over to the state. The state is allowed to hold it for a year. You cannot request it till after the state has held it for a year, but it has to be renewably asked for. They're not going to give it back to you till you ask.
So it takes 2 years to cycle.
Pretty much. Could probably do it in less time than that, maybe 18 months, but 2 years just is a good time period for remembering to put something on the calendar.
Ms. Barrett,
Yes, sir.
on the
county archives, those $5 fees for those things, can you eliminate any of that, or you have to take the whole package?
You can eliminate.
Well,
I've not had any counties eliminate because this is standard.
well, we don't have any zoning in this county.
If it doesn't
So,
apply, then of course,
Right.
yes, it would be eliminated.
The other one is on the vehicle titles. You know, I don't know how that applies to what we do right now, but, you know, it's nearly $60 when somebody goes get the tags. If they have to do a title, that's an additional $5 on the title. You know, to me, that's pushing it a little bit. We've already got a $25 wheel tax on there as it is, so. I had concerns about that.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on the last one about the tax on the occupancy. That's rental, room rentals, whatever.
Yes.
Is that enforced on Airbnbs?
Thank you for asking that. It had not prior to technically January 1st of this year, but it actually went into play about October, November of last year. The state passed a statute that requires all those third-party platforms, Airbnb, HomeAway, VRBO, anything you go online to list your home or location with and register through that or reserve through that, those entities now have to collect the local option sales tax. Beforehand, it was hit or miss as to whether or not we could get them to enter into contracts with individual counties. If you weren't a big enough county, we couldn't get them to the table. The state mandated that for all counties that they have listings in, they have to collect the local option sales tax and remit that back to the county. It started January 1. Now, if those entities, let's say a hotel or a bed and breakfast, uses both VRBO or an online platform, and they still do reservations themselves, they're responsible for what's not utilized, not coming in on the VRBOs. Anything they do in-house, they're responsible for submitting that themselves.
That's right, because I feel like, you know, legitimate hotels and places like that were penalized because they followed the rules and they went that route. So if you went the other direction, they kind of just fell through the cracks. And so I'm very glad to know that. You know, I think it levels the playing field, you know.
It does. It's still in implementation mode, so that's something I'll also be tracking just in general so that I can help the counties make sure that they're getting itemized listings and they know, again, something else isn't falling through the cracks or they know who to give the credit to. Typically, the state sends down a distribution check with no explanation. We're going to try to make sure there's a distribution breakdown so we know who all that's being collected from.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions for Ms. Gray? We'll vote on these one at a time. And if there's any more question comes up, feel free to ask during the time. First one is consideration of resolution 2021-09, levy additional litigation taxes in Fentress County. Any more questions on that you need before we ask for a motion? Do I hear a motion on the first one, which is item number 11?
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Is there any more discussion?
This is all going to be added revenue to our county general fund, correct? That's what.
This particular one goes to the Justice Center debt. So it's dedicated to.
So it's going to help go for payments on the justice.
It'll
correct?
go to debt service.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else? Roll call vote, please.
Julie,
4,
Larry,
4.
Leon,
4.
Lester,
4.
Robert,
4.
Benny,
4.
Kim, 4, Rod,
4,
Justin,
Or
Mickey, 4. 10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Item number 11 passes. Item number 12, consideration of resolution 2021-10 to levy county archives and record management fee.
Now, this is the one that's gonna add $5 onto the license.
Among other documents, yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Is there any discussion?
Jimmy, I'll say from a legal standpoint, if there are ones, like we don't have a zoning department, if you pass a resolution that includes the zoning department portion or the highway department, I don't think that they actually charge a $5 fee for driveway permits. We don't have a driveway permit process. Is that right, Joy? Then you set yourself up for someone to say, well, you've said you charge for these things. Why aren't you offering them? Why don't we have a zoning department? Why don't we have a driveway permit process? So if those things don't apply, you need to take them out on the front end, just from a legal perspective.
Does anyone want to make an amendment to this motion?
I'll make an amendment to my motion to take out the driveway, or the, what was it? The permit
Zoning.
Or zoning, yes, for sure on the zoning and the,
Highway driveway permits
yeah, the driveway permit.
and the road cut permits. All the highway department, we don't
Yeah,
charge for either.
And the road cut permit.
Okay. So you're taking out the zoning, the highway department parts. Anything else? I hear a second to the amendment motion. Take second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Roll call vote on the amendment, please. To the
Mickey?
motion.
Four. Justin?
Or
Rod?
Four.
Kim?
Four.
Benny?
4.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
4.
Larry?
Against.
Julie?
Against.
8-4, 2 against.
8-4, 2 against. Motion passes. Item number 13. Consideration of Resolution 2021-11 requesting the State Treasurer to pay unclaimed balance of funds remitted for prior years.
Motion to
Go.
approve resolution.
Excuse me, we got to vote on the resolution. I'm sorry, let me back up. That was just for the amendment. So the motion now will read, consideration of Resolution 2021-10 to levy a county archives and record management fee, and this will be on marriage license applications, beer permit applications, notary public applications, vehicle titles to include replacement titles for a business license application, and a fee of $5 for all public records filed with the clerks of court for the purpose of initiating a legal proceeding. Do I hear a motion as amended on item number 12?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding, second by
I'll second it.
Commissioner Justin Miller. Roll call on item number 12 as amended.
Mickey?
Four.
Justin?
Or it.
Rod?
Four.
Kim?
4.
Benny?
Against.
Robert?
4.
Lester?
4.
Leon?
Against.
Larry?
Against.
Julie?
Against.
6-4, 4 against.
6-4, 1 against. Motion passes. Now, item number 13. Consideration of Resolution 2021-11 requesting the state treasurer to pay unclaimed balance of funds remitted for prior years.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Benny Hughes to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Is there any more discussion or questions on this? And this is the money that the state is holding on unclaimed property, correct?
Correct.
Roll call vote, please.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
Mickey,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
10-4, none against.
Motion passes 10-4, none against. Item number 14, consideration of Resolution 2021-12 to increase litigation taxes for General Sessions Court in Fentress County.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Kim Davison to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mickey McDonald. Any more discussion on this? Roll call vote, please.
Julie,
4.
Larry,
4.
Leon,
4.
Lester,
4.
Robert,
4.
Benny,
4.
Mickey,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
10-4, none against.
Motion passes 10-4, none against. Item number 15, consideration of Resolution 2021-13 to urge the General Assembly to amend the County Private Act of 2000, Chapter 82, to increase the county occupancy tax from 5% to 7%.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Benny Hughes to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Any more discussion?
Ms. Barrett, did you say 7.5%? It says 7 here, but I think you said in your statement 7.5.
And it is what the resolution says. I think maybe when we were first discussing with the mayor, we talked about 7.5, and the agreement was to 7. Whatever your resolution says is what we're going to go with.
7? Okay. I knew you said during the presentation, I thought you said 7.5, so.
And you're correct, I did. That's in my notes, but whatever the resolution says is where we'll go, unless you want to increase it to 7.5.
Does that, your number 15?
It'll be up to
reflective
7.
of 7%?
Yes, sir.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey, 4. Justin,
For it.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against, motion passes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be working with the departments to implement these.
Thank you. Item number 16, consideration of Resolution 2021-14 authorizing transfer of funds from the Senior Center Fund 128 for nutrition program expenditure to repay the general fund of Fentress County. I believe that there, I think that there was the initial $20,000 that the commission let the senior citizens have in July of 19 to start up the food service, which we're doing now, and they are doing quite well at this time, and there's enough money to pay that back. Also, in that fund, we've also bought several pieces of equipment. I bought another van for them to be able to drive, one that's in a lot better condition than what we've had. So hopefully within the next year, we might be able to purchase another van that'll give them enough to deliver the meals. They're actually delivering roughly 200 meals a day now. So,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Justin Miller, second by Commissioner Larry Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Mickey,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Motion passes. Consideration of Resolution 2021-15, authorizing Fentress County to submit an application to the Tennessee Housing Development Agency for the 2021 Home Grant Program. Amanda Maynard, are you on the phone?
Probably muted, and Tyler is stepped out with his
Amanda, if
chair.
you'll hold just a moment, I'll come and unmute you. Just a moment.
Come back to that one, maybe.
Don't want me to try it.
Amanda, can you hear us now? Or
Yes,
can we hear you?
listen, I was having this whole conversation with myself.
Well, you weren't
I said
answering your
hello.
screen. Were you answering yourself?
I was not, no. I was not. No one was answering me. I was saying hello and thank you. Thank you for letting me call in tonight. I appreciate the extra time. It is very helpful this week. Very helpful this week. Very helpful. Well, listen, we've got this resolution for the Tennessee Housing Development Agency. It's another home grant. If y'all remember, we did a home grant back in 2016 and closed it out late 19. If not, late 19. We actually worked on 13 houses with that grant for $375,000 was that one. With this grant, we're going to apply for $500,000. We actually, you know how these grants work. It's kind of a matrix system, and we really, our score is right in the middle. So I'm not going to make any promises that we'll get funded, but if we do not submit it, we definitely will not get funded.
I move we approve.
I second that.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper to approve. Second by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Is there any more question to this?
Of course, y'all know this is the grant we work on low-income, elderly houses in bad shape. This grant we actually can tear down and rebuild, and we actually can work on mobile homes with this grant as well.
You remember how much money we got the last couple times, Amanda?
Yes, the last one, it was $375,000. And we did 13 homes with that one.
Is there any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Kim,
4.
Rod,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Mickey, Leon,
4.
Lester,
4.
Robert,
4.
Julie,
4.
Larry,
4.
Benny,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Motion passes. Thank you, Amanda Maynard.
Thank you.
Item number 18, consideration of Resolution 2021-16, authorizing the submission of the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for fiscal year 21-22. Deputy Jason Duncan, has been working on this grant, and the Sheriff's Department plans to purchase some radar handheld units and also some more equipment that's much needed by the Sheriff's Department, and I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooden, second by Commissioner Benny Hughes. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Mickey,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Leon,
4.
Lester,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Item number 18 passes. Item number 19, consideration of Resolution 2021-17 to apply any funds received from the Tennessee Sports Gaming Act proceeds to the Fentress County Highway Department's asphalt budget line items only, subject to be reviewed every 2 years by the County Commission.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion?
Hey, Jimmy,
Sir?
there was something came out about this going towards Board of Education. Did that kind of get washed out?
Yeah, that there was just 80% that is already given.
Okay.
Yeah, this year's a different percentage of that, and I think it actually comes to about, right now, it comes to about $1,900 a quarter or something, or $2,000 a quarter or something. Any more discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey.
Four.
Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Leon.
4.
Lester.
4.
Robert.
4.
Benny.
4.
Larry.
4.
Julie.
4.
10-4, none against.
And 4, none against, motion passes. Item number 20. Consideration of Resolution 2021-18, authorizing the submission of the Tennessee Office of Criminal Justice CESF video arraignment grant for fiscal year 2021 and 2022. Ms. Leslie, would you like to talk about that? You and Ms.
Yes.
Maynard?
Thank you, Jimmy. I essentially got this email from General Jared Effler, our District Attorney General's office, and he said, look, this is an excellent opportunity. Some of y'all may remember last month there was a similar grant, but it was to improve the court system for victims, and there was a 20% match on this. Well, this grant is up to $100,000 with zero match. It's coming from federal funds, and it is all COVID related. Essentially, the jail and the Justice Center hasn't had the opportunity to make improvements to our video and audio system. We have a great system in here now. Over there, it's pretty much a one and done kind of system, and we don't have any ability to arraign or to interview defendants, witnesses, family members, anybody who needs to be talked to in a video capacity at the Justice Center. We also don't have any ability to project documents. When we publish documents to the jury, and we're going back to jury trials, and grand jury is meeting frequently in the coming year, everybody's going to pass those documents around. You can't see them. There's no overhead projection over there. We had to borrow a projector from Claiborne County a couple of weeks ago because we just didn't own one. So we are in dire need. I believe that the sheriff and the justice system over there in general has done an excellent job at keeping COVID out of the jail back there. But as we loosen restrictions and we go back to court in person, we have the potential to see some exposures that we didn't have because essentially the court system's been shut down. That being said, this grant allows us to really make the improvements that are critical to keeping the COVID out, plus just bringing us kicking and screaming into the 21st century. Even Pickett County, who we house all their prisoners, has been able to implement a video arraignment system at our jail for the prisoners that we house for them, whereas, it's a dedicated line for Pickett County. And I think it's been pretty successful already for their public defenders to use to interview their clients. They don't have to drive up here for the judges in Pickett County and the sheriff in Pickett County to be in their jail and courtrooms, but the inmates housed here, they can have their arraignments. We don't even have that capability for the people within our own inmates. So we're desperate to try and get this federal grant, $100,000. Miss Amanda Maynard has been very
Yes,
kind.
I'm here.
She's been very kind and generous with her time. We met with BIS, who's coordinated our system here in this room, but provides that capability. And our system is not a BIS system. Like I said, what we have now, and it's only in one of the 2 courtrooms, is just a little audio player that you get at Walmart. So we all met, took a tour, see what we needed. Amanda has been, like I said, very generous with her time. This is a grant that's due on the 23rd. Amanda has, we just literally got this last week. So she's agreed to, if we are approved, to take a fee of 3%. Is that correct, Amanda?
That is correct, yes.
So that's working at a very reduced rate for her. That would be the only cost to Fentress County, would be Amanda's fee in administering this grant, because I can assure you it's a lot of paperwork, it being a federal authorized grant, and it used words that I'd never heard of before. So I can tell you, I just wasn't smart enough to fill it out, and Amanda was generous, like I said, to come on board and help us out with that. So if you all would provide her fee and allow us to apply for that, I think we could meet some real critical needs.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Amanda, do you have anything else to say?
No, Leslie covered everything.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Lester Gooding and seconded by Commissioner Benny Hughes. Is there any more discussion?
Should we not take out the line that says where it is be understood there's a 0% match? Should that not be taken out since we're paying 3%?
It's a 0% match required, and it'll say in the next, therefore it resolved, Grassroots is going to charge an administrative fee. It's not part of our match.
That 3% can't come off the grant?
No, sir. There's no administrative fees allowed in the grant. It's strictly for equipment and implementation only. Sorry.
So it can't, the total, if it went to $100,000, that'd be $3,000.
Yes, sir.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
Kim,
4.
Rod,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Mickey,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Item number 20 passes. Item number 21, consideration of approval of an amendment to the Fentress County Employee Handbook to include updated preventive policies. Becky?
We have taken a lesson learned from surrounding counties with our preventative policies. This is addressing abusive conduct, our EEOC, our equal employment opportunity, harassment, sexual harassment, and workplace violence policies. And we have beefed up our policies significantly. As you will see, it's gone from 1.5 pages addressing it to over 12 pages addressing it. Everything from our statement of our stance that we don't tolerate this to each of these, as well as our expectations of our administrators, department heads, as well as employees. Our training and how we are going to go about our training, as well as our investigations and our corrective actions that will be going for if we do find something. Leslie and I have worked together on this. We feel like it's we're in dire need of it. I've already worked a little bit with our local government insurance pool in implementing this within our county and have created our training PowerPoint for this to go around. I think Leslie would like to train everyone in the county by July 1. So it is a massive undertaking, to say the least.
It's a massive undertaking, but it will hopefully very much so prevent us from being in a situation we find other surrounding counties are in right now under federal consent decrees, where they are required to implement these changes by law and pay fines for not having implemented those changes previously. Becky and I we didn't reinvent the wheel. We used what the feds told our surrounding friends and partners and other places to do, and we just used it because it will come down the pike at some point. Lawsuits beget lawsuits, and people say, oh, someone made that remark to me, or my supervisor didn't take this seriously, so I'm going to follow suit and sue. Well, we have tried to be very proactive in preventing that with these policy changes, and the training that will need to come down with that needs to be county-wide, not just the 5 departments that are under Jimmy's office. The sheriff has been proactive in telling us, yes, set up your training immediately. Let's get that done. Becky's already done the ambulance service training. So where we are is that we hope everyone, county officials, the commissioners, everybody gets involved, and the training's simple, and Becky has it's actually a fun PowerPoint. It's not something that's going to make you cringe. Although reading these lawsuits made me cringe, and we don't want that to happen. So these changes are necessary. Like I said, and we just didn't pull them out of thin air. They came from the changes that the federal EEOC and Department of Labor, Department of Justice, yeah, even higher than that,
Yeah.
that required these changes to be made in some surrounding counties. And so we just took that to make our policy updates. And we're trying, like I said, to be proactive versus us having to follow a consent decree to make these changes happen.
I hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding, seconded by Commissioner Robert Cooper. Is there any more discussion on this? Roll call vote, please.
Mickey.
Or
Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Julie.
4.
10-4, none against.
10 for, none against. Motion passes. Item number 22, consideration of approval of the bid proposals for the roof at the Fentress County Health Department. These are covered within the renovations grant. Tyler, would you like to address that for just a second?
We don't have Alan on the line, but they actually sent in an estimate for a change on some awnings. I received that this morning. Came in over the weekend. It is it's about $8,000 more on Nate's. They'll have to do it as a change order on Turner Roofing, but it's something that's came up in with this roof because there's some soffit that they found rotting up there. But their recommendation is Turner Roofing.
8,000 added to the 46,000.
Yeah, and there'll be a change order come through on Turner as well.
Is it for the same amount?
Don't have his estimate on it yet. That'll come before you in the form of a change order. But as they've got to looking at it since the bid opening on 3/25, there's some soffit and some parts that's rotted on some of those awnings that they'll have to replace those awnings and change some soffit, the way I understand it. I've got GNS's pulled up. It says tear existing awning down to roof deck, inspect roof deck for further damage, replace all beams, trusses, and sheeting as needed, no roofing included, replace all siding and soffit to match existing, no gutter included. So that was $8,200 on GNS. That would be coming as a change order after the approval of the initial bid, and we don't know what Turner's would be. It's probably somewhere in the same neighborhood, I would imagine.
It's not going to be higher than the other one, most likely.
I don't think that it would be $20,000, but this is through the money from the health department coming down from the state to do all this. This isn't anything out of the county budget whatsoever.
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept the bid roofing from Turner Roofing for $29,600.
I take that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper, second by Commissioner Kim Davidson. Is there any more discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Mickey.
more.
Justin.
For it.
Rod.
For it.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Larry.
4.
Julie.
4.
10-4, none against.
10 for, none against. Item number 23, consideration of approval of the following change orders to the Fentress County Health Department renovation. This is also covered within the grant. Tyler, you need to say anything to that, or we're pretty much what they did?
It's listed in there. So like the first one, that's the total increase is $175. Changing on some light package as well as some carpet removal switches in and out for a total increase of just $175. The next one is an increase of $14,000. Adding an exit sign. There were some floor boxes there that they're going to have to fill in that they weren't aware of until they pulled the flooring up. They're extending the workstation. I mean, you guys can see it listed. There's solid surface countertops, add egress lighting, and add lobby restroom lighting. Some odds and ends they've addressed while going through the remodel on that project. Same deal. It's all coming from the state health department money.
Motion by Commissioner Benny Cooper Benny Hughes. I'm sorry. Been a long time since I blundered.
I've been called out.
Second.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Larry Cooper. Any more discussion?
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Julie,
4.
Larry,
4.
Leon,
4.
Lester,
4.
Robert,
4.
Benny,
4.
Kim,
4.
Rod,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Mickey,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Motion passes. Item number 24, consideration of approval of request to surplus vehicles, buses from the Fentress County Board of Education. And you have what they're wanting to surplus there. Robert, would you like to say anything to that?
These are buses that's been taken out of service. 2 of the buses was taken out of service where we got the Volkswagen grant last year. Those buses had to be, the frames had to be cut in 2, and motor block had to have holes cut in it, but the other buses will run, and just because of age and mileage that they had to be taken off the routes. And of course, there's one van there that was used by the central office and basically throughout the school system. It's got a lot of miles and does need some work, but other than that, that's pretty much it.
There a motion?
Make a motion to approve. Second that.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding, second by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Is there any more discussion to this? Roll call, please.
Mickey,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Rod,
4.
Kim,
4.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
Aye.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
9-4, 1 pass.
9-4-1 passing, motion passes. Number 25, consideration of approval of a funding request from the Fentress County Highway Department in the amount of $500,000. This obligation requested to come from the Governor's Lee's fiscal year 2021-2022 infrastructure grant. This is, I think that grant, when it does come through, is $637,000, and they're asking for $500,000 of it. Joey, would you like to speak to that?
You got plenty? We share.
Well,
in about 90 days, the difference in the cost of the hot mix going up was $13,832 due to the increase of the fuel and oil. And I changed my mind on from asking 500,000. I'm going to ask for the whole thing.
Okay.
$642,398.
600 and what now, Joy?
It was $642,398.
$398.
Mm-hmm.
This here's down around the loop down at Mount Helen.
Yep.
That there's the one that you was asking for $370,000, $292 for, right?
Do what?
That's the one that you were originally asking for $370,292.
Yeah, originally was.
Originally was.
Yep.
Okay. How much was the county short on? It was $18,000 for the year. How much was it that the county was short on fuel taxes? That the county was. I know this here says that the whole state was, but what was the county's? What were they short? What were they short on fuel tax money last year?
On last year.
Yeah, this is what this was for. What this right here is talking about last year. So what was the county's? How much was the county short on fuel
I'll
tax?
get you some figures in the morning.
I got this here Thursday. The proposed $200 million for local government grants remains in the governor's budget plan.
Mm-hmm.
However, the administration wants to delay awarding the funds so they can first review guidelines on the use of more than $2.2 billion that counties and municipalities across the United States get and the money coming down from the federal government. Should the state and federal spending guidelines overlap, the state wants time to review and adjust guidelines on its program, which was talking about this $642,000 that we're going to get.
Yeah.
So
they're holding it up over the federal money coming in.
Holding it up, and they're not going, and they hope that they can issue something no later than January the 1st, 2022, instead of July
Yes,
of this year.
Yeah.
And so that there is, so we don't even know if we're going to get it. We're supposed to get it.
Yeah, we're supposed to get it.
But we don't know if we're going to get it.
Well, we're going to get $3,592,422 in federal help.
For different things such as water, highways, bridges.
There ain't no language in there for highways.
It's in infrastructure. And highways is part of infrastructure, I believe.
What I've been reading, it's water, sewer, and broadband.
Well, that there in infrastructure also is included in there. Should be.
Should be. Well,
we don't know if we don't know if we're going to get this or not.
Yeah. Well, it's a pipe dream.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But of course, the commission is going to be faced also with putting up an emergency a tower also for the emergency services, sheriff's department, ambulance, and everybody else also.
Yep.
To the point of about $300,000 to $400,000 possible. So, but what you're asking the court tonight, though, you're asking for the whole $642. $642,398. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What you're asking for. What's the will of the commission? Do we hear a motion?
What's the total that we're supposed to be getting?
$642,398
No, what's the total money that we're supposed to
from the state. The $642 from the feds. From the feds, it is about 3 million, and what was it, Joey? You had to figure there 3 million and
Yeah.
around 3.5.
Yep.
3.5. It would be used for, like Joey said, broadband. There is a column in there for infrastructure someplace. There was. We've been told by Miss Blackburn anyway.
Yeah.
So
So the 642, we're unsure if we're even
we're
going to get
unsure
it
of
as
that.
of right now.
Yeah.
This on the
So if-
federal money is supposed to be coming down sometime.
So basically, I'm hearing we may be voting on a prayer.
Well,
That's my question. Are we voting for something that's not there yet? Is that what we're doing?
that's
I'm
what
trying to get my foot in the door here to get a little money.
federal.
if we do get
He's
Yeah.
asking for the commitment of the whole thing to go to the highway department for this Mount Healing Road project.
So the state's infrastructure grant money. Of course, there's no language in the federal that's for the highway.
They're not real specific on any of it. I've got some videos and some correspondence down from the comptroller's office to be very careful with this money because we've not got specific guidelines released yet on any of it.
For any of it, state or federal.
And
Yeah.
and
That's
so
what-
they told us kind of, I don't have that letter laying in front of me, but they basically said, don't spend until you're 110% sure that there's been very limited guidance come out on this money. That was straight from the new comptroller, Justin Mumpower, that came down from their office. So they said that we will probably receive the money before we receive guidance on how we can spend it. So they were trying to caution all counties by sending that out to be.
Was you supposed to get high food here pretty soon?
That there's the federal.
That's the
federal
federal-
money's supposed
federal
to
money.
come. Half of it's supposed to come down within the next. They said 60 days. Don't spend
Yeah.
none of it.
Yeah.
Don't commit none of it because they don't know what change is attached to it. Then the other half will come down within a year or up to a year from the first half of it. But now that theirs is in the code act that the president put out, and the president did said it would be dedicated, a lot of it, for roads and bridges, is what he said.
The one that he's advertising on TV now.
The ones he's advertising that
Yeah.
come down through,
Not this package.
not the 642,000. That's coming from the state.
That's the state.
That's coming from the state. And we don't know.
But this is what I'm talking about.
But what I'm saying is, we
Is
don't know if we're
what's
going to get this or not.
delaying what I'm asking.
Just
for.
what I read a minute ago.
Yeah.
They're sitting, the state is sitting back, waiting to see what the feds do before they spend their money.
Okay.
So that's,
So do we need to make a motion contingent on things, or do
so-
we just need to leave it alone, or what do we need to do?
Two things. The highway department was $219,000 short on their gas and motor fuel tax. I think that was a question you had just a second ago. 219, right at $220,000 short last year. Another thing is we've met and discussed a freestanding emergency room. One thing we discussed is there's a difference in issuing debt for an item like that as opposed to paying cash for it. So one thing we discussed was using that for that, if possible, through infrastructure. So just know that if we take this step, we will be looking at issuing debt unless we can land it in infrastructure in the 3.5 million, which is, it's all kind of questions up in the air because there's not a lot of guidance out on this money. So that's just, I understand Joey's here to get his foot in the door and we're not 100% sure what can be done with what, but that was one thing we discussed was the 600,000 coming down to be used for freestanding ER.
I think we can all agree.
Jamie Reagan has left.
I think we all agree we want to help the highway department in any way we can, but with better guidelines of what we can spend this money on, it would probably be, Joey's got his foot in the door, and I appreciate you coming tonight, but I can't see us obligating something that we really don't know how we can spend it to begin with. But at least make a commitment to Joey that we'll do whatever we can when we find out how we can spend the money. We won't spend it
On
until
the state
you come back.
infrastructure money.
Any of the money,
Yeah.
either state or federal.
Yeah.
But we don't have any guidance
I think-
anyway
I
on
think-
any of it.
I think there'll be quite a bit come down for you from the commission on the federal money. Now, that's just my thinking.
Yeah, I
From the
mean,
people that I've talked to, you may have talked to somebody else. I don't know.
I mean, I echo what Larry said there. I want to do everything I can for the highway department. You know, I mean, too, is keeping our roads up. So, but
Well,
we just need more guidance on
You got
what we're
5
doing.
or 6 small businesses down there.
Exactly right. You're
Tourism.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Well, we can't commit money that we don't have, Joey.
I know.
I mean, we want to get it down there, because believe me, I get the calls from that area.
Okay.
But until we get some guidance of how we're supposed to spend it, I don't think we should just obligate it without knowing what we can spend it on.
And we've been promised in the past, if you guys remember, there's a gentleman right where Joey's standing, said there was $30-something million already allocated to upgrade north end of Fentress County. Where that money went, that was 3 or 4 years ago, if y'all recall that. And that should have been done long years ago. But where'd the money go? Unless you got it in your hand, you don't have it.
Yep.
But you're the first one that's asked for it.
Okay.
But it's up to take action on it, or it's up to y'all. Is there a motion?
Can I make a motion? We just take no action until we find out what we can do with this money?
Motion been made by Commissioner Rod Williams. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Mickey, Justin,
For it.
Rod,
For it.
Kim,
Four.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
Against.
Leon,
Against.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
8-4, 2 against.
8-4, 2 against. Motion fails.
Appreciate your time.
Jimmy, when you find out more on it, we relate the information to Joey to
I'll find
come
out.
back at the next commission
I
meeting.
will. I sure will. Consideration of approval of the following budget amendments. Senior Center in the amount of $425. This is just a fundraising item.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Kim Davison, second by Commissioner Larry Cooper. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Mickey, Justin,
For it.
Rod,
For it.
Kim,
Four.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Next one is Highway Department in the amount of $12,470, moving money from contributions and miscellaneous refunds into highway and bridge maintenance.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Larry Cooper, second by, who seconded that? Second by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Julie,
4.
Larry,
4.
Leon,
4.
Lester,
4.
Robert,
4.
Benny,
4.
Kim,
Four.
Rod,
For it.
Justin,
For it.
Mickey,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Motion passes. The second item is Highway Department in the amount of $200,000. They're moving this money from capital outlay bridge construction into highway and bridge maintenance, asphalt and hot mix.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion
Second.
by Commissioner Lester Gooden, second by Commissioner Justin Miller. Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Benny,
4.
Robert,
4.
Lester,
4.
Leon,
4.
Larry,
4.
Julie,
4.
Kim,
4.
Rod,
4.
Justin,
For it.
Mickey,
4.
10-4, none against.
10-4, none against. Motion passes. Any other business?
Hey, yes, Ms. Donna Barrett needs to address the commission to clarify one thing on the archives resolution.
If I could clarify, you tend to think of things afterwards, and I don't want anything misrepresented among those of you that voted or any media that's listening. The $5 archive fee that's on the titles, that's not the annual renewal. That's the very first issuing of a title, or if they need to get a replacement title. So we're not talking about an increase to your wheel tax or anything like that. I just didn't want anything getting out wrong about the actions you took tonight. So that is only on the issuance of a new title for a vehicle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda, that did pass. What was it, 6-4?
Yes.
Sounds a lot better.
Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made and second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Contrary likewise. Meeting adjourned.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender Member FDIC.